It's that time of the year, guys. The California Dream for All program is back. 2024, we're going to go over five things you need to know if you're applying for this program. As always, I'm here with Aaron Klaus, New Way Mortgage, the man, the myth, the legend. Aaron, what do you think about the program this year?
Well, it's exciting. I mean, if you're a potential home buyer, how could you not get excited about the possibility of getting 20% down payment basically handed to you by the state of California to, become a homeowner? I mean, that's pretty impactful, right?
Definitely. And I'm sure people are sitting there going like, what do I need? What are those qualifications looking like? So we'll talk about number one, qualifications. What do you need to actually qualify to get into this program this year?
Well, this year is different from last year, and they made some big changes, okay? And the biggest change from last year is that you need to be what they're calling a first-generational home buyer. That means for the first time ever, mom and dad are now ruining your life again and making it possible or not possible for you to be able to take advantage of this program. Now, basically, if mom or dad have owned a home in the last 7 years, you're not a first-generational buyer. You still have to be what they call a first-time home buyer, which is defined as not owning a primary residence in the last 3 years. So if you've been, watching Pace Morby and you've been in that sub-2 group house hacking and you've got some rental properties, but you don't live in those, you're a first-time home buyer. I know it's confusing, but that's the way the rules work. Now, they've also changed the income limits, and we don't have enough time to dive into those because there's literally an income limit for every single county, and depending on if you're at 80% of the AMI for that county or over 80%, that also impacts how much of this Dream for All you actually have to pay back. That is pretty much, the high level of how to qualify for the program, besides just your standard qualifying for a loan stuff, debt to income, FICO scores, all of that.
All right, so I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, when does this thing start? When do I got to get my new iPhone? I'm joking. When is that start date? So as far as start date goes, when do those magic portals open up?
So that's another big change from last year. Like if you were around for last year's Dream for All, it was a little bit of a dumpster fire, to be honest. I mean, it was very unorganized. We found out about it a few weeks before it launched, essentially. And it was, kind of a mess in terms of onboarding and throwing your hat in the ring. Well, they came up with a new solution this time around. On April 3rd, which is just a couple of short weeks away from now, the Dream for All portal will open up. And at that point, you can actually submit your request for the program. Now, that doesn't guarantee that you're going to get it. What that does is you're basically throwing your hat into a lottery, okay? And in order to be able to do that, you have to meet all of those qualifications. You also need to have a letter that is signed by a Cal HFA approved lender like New Way Mortgage. So basically you take that information and you're going to upload it on the portal. The portal opens up on April 3rd and closes on the 29th. So you got a little bit less than a month, window to throw your hat in the ring. After that, they're going to close the portal down and they are going to begin their random selection process. We have no idea how that's going to work. Maybe they're literally pulling names out of a hat. I was kind of hoping they had that super lotto spinny thing, but at the end of the day, if you get selected, you'll find out, you'll get a certificate and move on to the next steps.
All right. So last year, one of the things is they ran out of money real quick. If you guys were involved in the California Dream for All last year, you'll know the money ran out. It was like quick. So as far as the funding amount this year, Aaron, what are we looking at?
$255 million. And so that's $100 million, a little more than $100 million less than what they had last year. So the money's going to run out really quick. There's, they're estimating somewhere around 1,800 people in the state will get this program. When you take 20% of your average sales price in California, that eats into, $250 million really quick. So the money's going to run out fast. If you are interested in throwing your hat in the ring and trying to take advantage of this, don't wait until April 29th. Get your stuff in right away on April 3rd. Be at the front of the line. It's not a first come, first serve thing, but it's not something that you want to dilly-dally around with and not be prepared.
Okay, and now another thing too, guys, you got to be in consideration of, and this is number 4, and I know we haven't done the numbers, but this is number 4, guys. You need to work with specific lenders if you want to apply for this program. So Aaron, break down exactly which lenders people can go to regarding this program.
Sure. So you need to be working with a CalHFA approved lender. CalHFA is the California Housing Finance Agency. And believe it or not all lenders are approved to do CalHFA loans. Not a lot of lenders honestly like doing down payment assistance loans. There's more work to them. They don't make as much money as the other loans, but it's kind of a necessity if you want to have a broad offering to consumers. So you need to work with a CalHFA approved lender. You can either go to CalHFA's website and find one, or you can just reach out to me and New Way Mortgage can take care of you.
All right, so we got all these 4 steps that you guys should know about. And the last one, and this is the big one. This is when the gates close, the portal ends. This is your deadline. And let's talk a little bit about deadline date. Do you think that we're going to reach the deadline with the funding amount, and what is that deadline date?
Well, they're going to close the portal on the 29th of April, and they haven't given a clear answer on, well, when the portal closes 2 weeks later or a week later or whatever, we're going to announce all the winners. So we don't know the exact timeline as far as that goes, but once they close that portal and they announce who all these winners are and provide certificates, it's not like that money just sits on the sidelines forever. You need to go get into escrow to buy a house and actually use those funds. And they're going to give you 90 days to go find a house, basically. And if you can't get into escrow and take advantage of that, then that money's going to go back into the pot and somebody else is going to get selected.
Okay, so another thing, guys, to consider, those are 5 things you need to know about the program. But you definitely need to work with a team that's versed in the Cal FHA, the Dream for All stuff going on, because it's not as easy as just submitting an offer with this program. You have to actually be able to translate it when you're submitting offers. And that was one of the biggest things that was happening last year. A lot of people didn't know about the program. Some people did. And a lot of stuff can get, as Bill Murray said, lost in translation. So you got to work with realtors and lenders that know the program, or else it can be very confusing if they're submitting an offer and they don't know what they're talking about regarding the California Dream for All program. So that's another thing. So as far as any parting words, as far as words of hope for everyone out there, Aaron, what are your parting words for them?
Well, I mean, although the Dream for All would be an amazing opportunity for anybody that can take advantage of it, there's still other ways to achieve the dream of home ownership. So if you're not one of the few people that get it, don't worry about it. There's plenty of other ways to become a homeowner.
Okay, guys. California Dream for All 2024. Now, if you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, and question, guys. We answer all of them on this channel. Hopefully, you guys like this new format too. We're trying to give you more direct, impactful videos to help you in the home buying process. Again, guys, this is Mark, Aaron. There we go. Till next video, we're out of here.